Hi there, this is AM Dreamingstitcher here to bring you a little bit of a floss tube extra, a tour, I hope, if my phone cooperates and I manage to do this properly, of my new craft room that was part of the home edition I had built. It's not a pretty side, it's utilitarian. It gave me a place to put all my stuff. And with my problems, it's a lot of stuff. So here we go. I'll be walking throughout, so if you get motion sick, this may not be the video for you. All right, first I'm going to pan around, give you a general idea of all the things stuffed in here. And then I'll go little by little and let you know what's in the room. This, if nothing else, will give you an idea of the extent of my shopping problems. Everything in here came either out of my existing house, like my bedroom, my guest bedroom, my office, wherever, or it came from my late parents' home in the case of some of the furniture. All right, behind the door itself, we have a bookcase with coloring books, paper dolls, and associated materials. There's a little overflow on the bottom of music things, overflowing from the music cabinet. This one is full of things like sheet music. I have mentioned before that I go through spending sprees, and I have been through a few music ones. So yes, it really is full of music items and sheet music. Lots of it. Okay, next to that we have a space that will be occupied in the future, here below the mini split, by my card catalog, which holds, among other things, floss. But it's so heavy that I need to arrange for someone much younger and stronger than I am to move it. Now, normally that glockenspiel would be over here in the corner, but I moved it so I could show you these things. You can see there's a bookcase with all my stitchy books, whether it's sewing, embroidery, cross-stitch, what have you, and a set of metal shelves. On the top are things for crochet and ornament making. We have my frames and extender bars and that sort of stuff. The end of that shelf, I think, has old kits and patterns. You can see lots of tubes of Aida cloth. The binders have mostly cross-stitch magazines from the late 90s when I started, but there's also a new binder with current just cross-stitch magazines. That set of drawers has things like hoops, mat cutters, the little kits that come in the British cross-stitch magazines, that kind of thing. Those pillowcase covered objects are scroll frames with my current projects on them. The bin on the bottom there is yarn. Above it are boxes with frames. Above that is a linen storage thing full of stuff you can stitch on, like towels, for example. Then we have, over next to the bookcase, another set of racks that used to be in my master bedroom that has at the top some things that came out of me thinking I could learn to sew costumes for Barbies. That hasn't happened yet. Then a shelf full of embroidery materials, then floss, and we start in on the kits. Yes, there really are 6 large bins, plus somewhat smaller one above there, of kits. The one on the lower right is needlepoint. Everything else is cross-stitch. What you see in the front is to help me remember what's in the boxes, like the one with a Christmas stocking would be the Christmas kits. Yes, I have told you, I have problems. And if I ever showed you my stash, it would take, a long time to get through it all. Then as I turn around a little bit, we have a small bookcase behind my stitchy table that has my charts and the British cross-stitch magazines that I've been subscribing to for just a couple of years now, I think. And on top is a portable DVD player. Although I find it hard to actually stitch and watch anything at the same time, I can't divide my attention that way. But that's not the only activity I do in here. So then we have a music table. I do not recommend those all-in-one stereo things. I got that one some years ago thinking I would transfer my parents' records to CDs. Yeah, I don't play them on there, that's for sure. But I do play CDs on that boombox looking thing. Please pardon my shadow crossing over here. And when I did my update a few days ago, I couldn't remember how it was that I stitched pushing on 3 hours a day in May. I forgot that in addition to the 30 minutes on my bird project and 30 minutes on a random whip and 15 on my back stitch for the wedding sampler, I was doing a DVD a day on the long dog sampler. So whatever the length of one of those discs is, which is almost never less than an hour and sometimes pushing 75 to 80 minutes, I was stitching on the long dog. Okay, this space will be for a tall mirror that I'm going to have moved in here. It's a rotating mirror thing. That cabinet has sewing materials and other stuff in it. That's with some of my late mother's sewing things. Okay, and then we have the last of the crafting metal shelves. And I'm going to try to get to a different angle on that one. But I want to show you that here in the center of the room, this stack is works in progress that are kind of there to remind me not to start anything new. They could be on the shelves. There we have a table stand. This table I brought over for doing things like puzzles, but you can see that the stitching has infiltrated it. And the other table there is my current stitching. I'm walking around the light here. I don't want to do anything too fast to make you all queasy, but under the tissue paper to protect it, we have my current stitching project, and I can hang the chart above it and so on. I wanted to get you to a different angle for those shelves. So on the top of the shelves, we have needlepoint. On the second shelf down, we have small kits. So you remember those 6 big bins of kits? Here's all the small ones. Then we have some of my what was I calling them? Bucket list projects stitched up, ready to go if I get through any of my current whips. And that empty space is where the whips on the table, those belong, but I took them out to remind me not to start anything new. Underneath, of course, is various things stored for beading, crafting, stitching, floss, whatever, you name it. In the corner, we have the games and puzzles. And on top of the chifforobe, the sins of my spending mostly over the past year. They don't even fit in the bins that I have anymore. Those are all cross-stitch kits, folks. I believe. I don't think there's anything else in there but cross-stitch. Then we have down here a set of drawers. Used to belong at my late parents' house. That has all my fabrics in it. And then we're back to the door. That have a couple of stitching spots, by the way. That chair belonged to either my great aunt or my mom's second cousin, or both. My mom's second cousin's mother was my great aunt, and when she passed, it came into our side of the family, and I remember sitting in it to stitch my first really large dimensions project with a very beloved cat I had at the time sitting at my feet. So that came over from my late parents' home, and it's got, as you can see, my stitching frame in front of it for when I'm doing something on a scroll frame instead of when I'm doing things on the table. So I have a couple of stitchy spots. I can also move this chair over to the sewing machine or to my music stands or whatever's needed. So that disastrous site full of all my stuff is my craft room / music room / game room. And I don't know how many people are actually interested in that. Some people just like to see craft rooms to, kind of compare. I'm sure you could do better with yours. But mine serves the purpose that I need it to. It got all these things out of the other parts of my house and into here. It gives me a place to work. So I'm happy with it. And I'm glad it's done. And thank you for watching. I hope that if you like tours, that gave you something to inspire you either to do or not do. And for those who have watched my other videos, now you see what I mean when I say I've got too many kits and a stash acquired long beyond any single life expectancy. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.